From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Good morning, or good evening rather. Welcome to Ask the Attorney. I am Amy Rao Mohan, and we're here today with Kevin Kennedy. A little bit of a rough start, Kevin.
It is, but it's exciting. I'm glad to see you tonight.
It's just a little confusing. We're in a brand new studio, and so
lots of changes going on at Channel 5.
Very exciting. And of course, this is Ask the Attorney. It's your chance to ask Kevin Kennedy anything you want, any type of legal issue, whether it's a domestic issue, family law, criminal, civil,
bankruptcy, whatever you got.
Yep.
Come on.
All right, Kevin will answer those questions for you. So call the number that's at the bottom of your screen at 615-737+ 737-7587. And for people who are new to the show, Kevin, tell them a little bit about you and your practice.
Well, you know, I'm Kevin Kennedy with the Kennedy Law Firm, and we're primarily home-based in Clarksville, Tennessee. We have 3 locations, one right in front of the courthouse. That's the main headquarters Kennedy building at Fort Campbell, just outside the Army base. We also have another location, and that's the Kennedy Center in there. We have the Tennessee's largest private, isn't it interesting? Private courtroom, and we also have a 500-seat auditorium there where we bring kids in and teach them about mock trials. That's at our Fort Campbell office. One of my lawyers said, "Kevin, have you lost your mind when we built the?" I said, "No, it'll be good." And then our third location's on Wilma Rudolph. That's the biggest boulevard running through Clarksville from the interstate. And that's our third place, the Kennedy Place. Everybody said, "Why'd you do it?" And I used to think about Trump putting his name on everything. And I said, well, I guess the bank will keep on loaning. We'll keep on putting it up there. So that's how it went.
All right. And you really have a general practice.
Absolutely. We have a number of lawyers and a big support staff. And one thing that I've learned in my 32 years as a lawyer is that you really need the team approach. So, and why do you really need that? Because there's so many areas of the law. No one can know all. We can know the theory. So, and I love to bounce ideas. You know, I have the most experience in the whole group, and I probably ask as many questions as a brand new associate. And I try to teach everyone that. So, you know, whether it's a criminal problem, because there's always civil ramifications in a divorce, in a bankruptcy. You need to know a little bit about a lot of things. And then once we identify an issue, then let's get an expert. You know, we've got some people that, you know, they are on it. They do bankruptcies all day long, and we have them that stay in criminal court all day, and divorce court the same.
And we've talked about, I've learned so much from you. I've been practicing less than 4 years now, although that time seems to have flown by since law school and since I left Channel 5 here. But really, it's just learning from other lawyers, and
yes.
This show is a great opportunity to gain that knowledge and gain free legal advice, which everyone wants to.
That's the greatest thing of this broadcast. We love to share. Amy and I both do. And you know, knowledge is power. And what good would it do if I knew all these answers and I didn't share it? Then I feel like I've wasted so many years. And you remember, I had a judge in front of me, and she said, "Kevin, remember this. That's why we call it the practice of law, because we practice day after day, year after year." And we've actually shared great ideas in time when you and I have been together. And I haven't really said this, but Amy is really a brilliant lawyer. Make no mistake about it.
Thank you,
She
Kevin.
brought some of the creativity
Close
ideas.
up right there.
Yes.
Thank you.
And she
Nice
is brilliant,
endorsement.
and it's my honor to get to be with you, because we really enjoy sharing and helping with others.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Kevin. And let's get some calls here. We've got Jay on. Oh, well, I don't know.
We may not be used to these new phones right
I
here.
know.
Hit them again.
Let's see. All right, let's try Mike here. No.
On the plus side, Amy.
Oh, there's a plus side. All right.
Okay, we'll
We've
dance
got
them. Thank you.
Mike here. Hey, Mike. Mike, are you with us?
My name's Jeff.
Okay, Jeff, we love to talk to you.
Doesn't matter what your name is. We'll take your question.
Well, I was calling to find out if you had any expertise in dealing with people that operate a business and it's not wheelchair accessible.
Well, yes, and you know, businesses now fall on the American Disabilities Act. That's a federal law, and if you have a business, yes, you're supposed to have some handicap parking out front, and you're also to be handicap accessible. And if you're dealing with a business, you can go tell them. And of course, if you want to try to report someone to that, you can always go online and file a report and say, hey, look, they are not handicap accessible, and they'll send somebody out to investigate and can write them up. We're governed by these rules and laws, and for all those who are disabled, we've come a long way. Some people
came
say,
out of a Supreme Court case from Tennessee,
yes,
right?
yes, it did. So thank you. And the squeaky door gets the oil. So
And
go
did
out and share.
Would I need to call for something like that?
Well, what I would do is, why don't you try to start with looking on the website on the American Disabilities Act. If you'll see, there'll be several governmental phone numbers, and you can just call one. They probably have a state number that you can call, and then there's probably a federal number that you can call, and you can report that. And they're going to send some investigators out to find out.
All right, we've got, I'm not sure who's on line 2, but do you have a question for us?
This is Jay. You there?
Hi, Jay.
Yeah, Jay,
okay,
go
I
ahead.
had Jay written down, but I thought that was, I got the wrong
lawyers can't even
names.
answer the phone these days. That's
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
something.
I'm just kidding. Hey, Mr. Kennedy, I got a question. We got a family friend who's got a big farm, and they've had some people move in from out of state, and they've got pigs, and they've been damming up the creek up from them, and also the pigs have been getting in that water. What do we need to do? I know TWRA has been called, and I just wondered what your thoughts were and what we need to do. Thanks.
Well, thank you for the phone call. Remember, good fences make good neighbors. You really hate to get into it with your neighbors, but when they are doing this, I'd call the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. I'd go down there and take a picture. They can come. The EPA will be all over them too. They test that water, and they're running waste off in the creek. It creates a real problem. And if it were me, I would probably hire me a lawyer to send them a letter immediately to correct that. And if they didn't, well, then we'll have to take whatever steps necessary. Do you have a right to sue them? Yes. Is it damaging to your property? Yes. Would there be some civil liabilities and some penalties? Yes.
Right. Well, and again, Kevin can answer all of these questions, so keep calling that number at the bottom of your screen, 615-737-PLUS, 737-7587. We've got Linda here on line 3. Hi, Linda.
Hi, I called last month about getting a judgment on the default judgment, and I was able to get that judgment. Now I'm in the process of trying to collect on it, which is going to be difficult because I did check with General Sessions, and there have been several default judgments against this person.
Oh, boy. And, Linda, you're pretty smart. You were able to go in there and get the judgment. And, everyone says, well, Kevin, do we have a case? Yes. Can you sue them? Yes.
Can
you get a judgment? Yes. And can you collect? Well, that's a big maybe. And so, really a few things that you might brainstorm about. If you could ever find if they had a job, then we get a garnishment and issue the garnishment to their employer, and they may give you some. If they don't have a job, that's kind of closed. You could always issue an asset subpoena to their representative, and that would make them come to court, and then you can put them under oath. The judge, you got to tell them, then you ask Social Security number, bank accounts, and then you could try to levy on those bank accounts. And so there's some great collection lawyers around. You can always call the Tennessee Bar Association. A lot of them take things on a third or 40%. And that might be the easiest way. And of course, remember this, if you got a judgment and they file bankruptcy on you, all you get is a green piece of paper saying it's discharged. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling, Linda.
All right. We've got Darlene here on line 4. Hi, Darlene.
Hi.
How can we help you today?
Well, I'm hoping you can at least send me where I might need to go. My husband passed away February the 5th.
We're sorry to hear it.
Yes.
October the 22nd of 2014 until April the 4th, he suffered with leg infection. It was horrible. They had left a graft in his leg, so we had to go to another doctor, get this taken out. And from all of that, laying on his back for 6 months, his COPD got worse, and he died from that. There has to be something somewhere that I can do. I know my time's coming up. April the 7th, I think it is all I've got left. And I have called And I have begged, and I've done everything I know to do to make this doctor pay for what he's done. I mean,
Well, I'll just start off and address several things to try to give you some direction. In Tennessee, we have a 1-year statute of limitations on personal injury. Now, this could fall under whether it's a medical malpractice, and if it is, you can call the Tennessee Bar Association, give you a referral list of lawyers in Nashville or your location that do medical malpractice. The question is, did that doctor deviate from the standard of care in that community? If he did, that's one threshold. Then again, you have to have a doctor that will give you an affidavit to proceed. And you're under time restraints. What the legislature has done, they're making it more and more difficult.
They really have, difficult on plaintiffs.
On the plaintiffs, just like yourself, ma'am, to bring a case against a doctor or a hospital. And so many of the lawyers go. And the big point is, when the lawyer goes, so does the little guy. The lawyer is the last vestige of hope for justice for the little person. So I'm telling you, call Tennessee Bar Association, get some referrals, and then start calling. You're going to have to get your husband's medical records, and you got to move fast. So the question is...
comply with the statute, and so all the
Yes.
notice of intent letters and certificates of good faith that you have to get, and so it is a process and one that requires some specialization.
And, you know, again, just what I say to everyone, we can't get these doctors to give opinions without giving them some money. And everybody says, well, we don't have any money. Well, that's why you've got a lawyer, and you need a lawyer with some resources to try to help. And she does this all the time, so you know about those certificates. I know. Thank you for calling. Best of wishes to you, ma'am.
And we still have many calls that we're going to take after the break, but keep calling that number, 737 plus 737-7587, and we'll be back with Kevin Kennedy after this.